the internet is full of noise. Everyone's got a side hustle, a digital product, a playbook, and a shortcut. An entire economy has been built around quick money and content creation, where every other person is a coach, a mentor, a personal brand strategist. But for all the promise, most people still feel lost, still stuck, still unsure if anything they're building will last longer than a trend cycle. And the truth is, it's never been easier to start something, but it's also never been harder to build something real. Because the moment the platform changes or the trend fades, the algorithm drops you. Your business disappears. It's why so many people are anxious and overwhelmed and burnt out. They're not lazy. They're actually trying. But they're playing a game that's rigged against stability. What nobody talks about is this. Most online businesses aren't businesses. They're digital experiments propped up by rented attention. And even when they work, the pressure to stay relevant never stops. So maybe the question isn't, what can I start today? Maybe the better question is, what stood the test of time? What survived wars, economy crashes, political upheaval, pandemics, technology shifts, and global revolutions, and is still here today, not just surviving, but thriving? Because if you're going to bet on yourself, wouldn't it make sense to do it inside an industry that's been paying people for over 6,000 years straight? We've been sold the idea that modern equals better, that the new way is always the best way, that if something isn't digital, scalable, and passive, it's outdated. But take a look around. Thousands are trying to grow a faceless YouTube channel. Millions are fighting for reach on TikTok and Instagram. Coaches are coaching other coaches on how to coach. Entire ecosystems exist just to teach you how to sell a thing that teaches people how to sell another thing. It's a loop. It's an echo chamber. It's a fragile economy built on attention, not value. And when someone makes it, they're constantly reinventing themselves just to stay afloat. Digital income requires momentum, and momentum doesn't last unless it's backed by a solid foundation. And that's why most people burn out. They're not lazy, they're just constantly chasing, constantly pivoting, constantly trying to figure it out. Because they never built something on real foundation that repeats itself. And that's what a true business does. It doesn't rely on daily reach or virality. It relies on trust, rhythm, on people coming back over and over and over again. That's exactly what's been happening in this one profession for over 6,000 years. A profession so timeless, so necessary, and so baked into human life that even during pandemics, recessions, global chaos, it keeps on going. And in fact, it keeps growing. Let's talk about barbering. Yeah, it's the same trade that existed in ancient Egypt. They used to shave Egyptians with oyster shells. The same craft passed down through generations over 6 millennia. The same industry that has outlasted empires, currencies, governments, and trends. Why? Because it solved a problem that never disappears. People will always need haircuts. People will always crave confidence. People will always pay for presence, care, and trust. It's not a trend. It's not optional. It's part of being human. Barbering has survived wars, financial crashes, and the collapse of entire industries. And it's come out stronger every single time. And in today's world, it's never been more lucrative, because while everything else gets more digital, people are striving for real connection, real experience, and real service. Barbers aren't just stylists. They're pretty much therapists. They're confidence dealers, community leaders. If you think about it, barbers are in the room for everything that matters. Job interviews, first dates, weddings, divorces, comebacks, fresh starts, you name it, barbers are there for it. Barbers don't just provide a service, they provide identity. And the ones who take it seriously, they're not just booked, they're building shops, brands, product lines, content channels, education platforms, membership networks, all from one skill, Barbering is the ultimate investment. It's low cost to start, low barrier to entry, and uncapped upside. And best of all, no algorithm can take it from you. No recession can erase it. No AI will replace it. No platform owns it. It's your craft, your reputation, your freedom in your hands. It's the safest investment you could ever make. And you know what people say about investing? Put your money where it's safe. Find something that's recession proof. Bet on what doesn't die when the market dips. Here's the truth that most people miss. The safest investment you can make is in yourself. It's not in crypto, it's not in NFTs, not in the next trending business model, but in you. Your skill set, something that you can create with your own hands. You build your reputation and your ability to create value in the real world. Barbering is the ultimate safe investment because it gives you all the things investors look for. Cash flow, retention, scalability, demand, durability, autonomy, except it doesn't require much capital. It just requires commitment. And if you're willing to put in the time, you're willing to put in the reps, you're willing to show up and improve, the ROI is insane. You're not just building an income, you're building identity, independence, and choice. And over time, that becomes leverage. Leverage to raise your prices, leverage to choose your clients, leverage to open your own shop, launch your own products, build your own team. You go from service provider to a trusted entity, from worker to owner, from barber to builder. And here's what makes it so rare in 2025. While the world is flooded with digital noise, you're building in the real economy, while others are selling from the DMs, and you're building decade-long relationships. While others are adjusting their content strategy, you're booked out weeks in advance because your work speaks louder than your feed. That's not theory, that's not hope, it's real. And that's what this path gives you. It gives you a skill that creates freedom and a craft that commands respect, a business that doesn't rely on noise to survive. That's what makes barbering the safest and smartest investment on the planet. You want to build a business that outlasts everything. The world keeps changing, platforms will rise and fall, AI will keep replacing more jobs, and the digital space will get noisier, more saturated, more unstable by the day. But barbering, it's still here, it's still growing, and it stood the test of time. And it's still the most trusted, time-tested, rewarding careers available to anyone who's willing to commit. Because this isn't just about cutting hair, it's about taking control of your future with something real, with a skill that you own, with a reputation that compounds powerfully for the rest of your life. That's what you're building when you choose barbering. It's not a trend, it's not a temporary win, it's not an audience that you have to monetize, but a business rooted in craft, community, confidence, consistency, and care. And the best part, it scales with you. It just starts with one chair, you add clients, then build a brand, then teach others and expand however you want. Barbering is just the foundation. What you build on top of it is up to you. And if all you want is stability, pride, and a meaningful way to earn a living, barbering gives you that too. The path isn't about ego, it's about ownership. And in 2025, ownership is the only safety left. So if you've been looking for a way to reclaim your time and your confidence, your control, this is your moment. Don't chase the next thing. Build the thing that's proven to outlast everything. You can build your lifestyle, your legacy, and you can still build leverage. Let's get honest for a second. Most people don't want to get rich. What they actually want is something more specific. To wake up without anxiety, to decide how the day looks, to work with people they respect, to be proud of the way they earn, to have enough to build, save, and enjoy life on their own terms. That's not a fantasy, that's called lifestyle design. And the only way to access it is through ownership. Barbering isn't just a trade, it's one of the few careers left that puts complete ownership into your physical hands from day one. No boss, no login, No app tracking your hours. You choose when you start, when you finish, who you cut, what you charge, what your future looks like. And that's just the beginning of it, because barbering can give you leverage, not just in theory, not just in algorithms, but in real practical steps. At first, your time creates your income, but over time, your name becomes an asset. Your reputation builds equity. Your work speaks for itself, and that's when you stop chasing clients and start choosing them. And it's simple. When you're good, you don't start from zero again. You have clients who come back every single month. People will refer you a personal brand that works while you sleep because it works in the background. And that's the exact type of leverage digital entrepreneurs are trying to fake with funnels, ads, and faceless automation. Barbering gives you the real version of that, because every cut you deliver is a deposit into your future. Every relationship you build becomes a part of your momentum. Every satisfied client becomes marketing you didn't have to pay for. And you're not just cutting hair, you're designing a career with real autonomy, creativity, respect, and repeatable income. Low overhead, high trust, and a ridiculously high ceiling. And legacy is built in by default. The barbers who stick with it, they become more than just a tradesperson. They become a leader. They become a name in the community, someone who shapes the next generation, someone who can build a shop, a brand, a team, a product line, all because they started with one skill and took it seriously. This is what people are chasing online, a way to be known and a way to be respected and trying to be remembered. But barbering gives it you without really even trying. Without the algorithm, without the burnout, without the dependence on digital smoke and mirrors. It's a real lifestyle. So let's talk about rhythm. Because while most people chase growth, the smartest ones chase repeatability. They're not asking, how do I blow up? They're asking, how do I build something that keeps paying me year after year after year? That's what a real business is. And it's the exact rhythm barbering offers. You don't have to pitch every day. You don't have to build a new audience every month. You don't have to go viral. You don't even need a social media account to keep your income alive. You just show up, deliver quality, and build the trust. And people will come back every 2-3 weeks like clockwork. Without a retargeting campaign, no CRM systems, just real, genuine human rhythm. Barbering is one of the only businesses left that repeats itself by design. You're baked into people's lifestyles. Not because you trick someone into coming back, but because the service actually matters. And that's what's powerful, because it gives you security. Most people building online, they wake up every morning at zero with no appointments, no guarantee, just create content and hope for the best. Barbers wake up to bookings, referrals, and retention, and that creates freedom, because you're not in survival mode every month. You're not starting from scratch. You're stacking on top of what you've already built. That's what most business models wish they could offer. And here's the wild part. Barbering isn't just repeatable, it's scalable. Once you're in rhythm, you can raise your prices, offer premium services, cut fewer people, make more money, build a team, open multiple locations, launch your own line of products, teach what you've already learned, all without losing control. It's your chair, it's your brand and your rules. And while everyone else is scaling wide, you're scaling deep. And that's the difference. Because most people are chasing volume. But in barbering, you only need 100, 200 loyal clients, and that will change your life. That's it. If those people trust you, they will come back every few weeks for years and decades. You're not just in their calendar, you're literally a part of their lifestyle. That's how you build a business that doesn't just repeat, it compounds, because the longer you do it right, the better it gets. The more referrals you get, the higher fees you charge, and the bigger opportunities that will come knocking on your door. It's not about building a business that explodes overnight. It's about building one that never stops working. In a world addicted to noise and novelty, barbering is the quiet, proven path that still wins. So, if you're ready to stop depending on platforms, trends, and luck, start building a life that pays you back week after week. with one skill and one decision. If you want, if you're interested, I'm building a barber program that might even get me cancelled. It's called the Permissionless Barber. And if you want to stay up to date with the launch, you can check out the first link in the description.